First, light a match. Next, put your finger into the flame. Only remove your finger when it gets too hot. Now remember how awful and terrifying that felt. We need to understand that our children cannot leave the flame of this culture of violence in which they are being raised unless we, as adults, change that culture.
But how can we change that culture of violence? Hi, I'm Jan Arnow, and in my nearly 4 decades of studying, writing, and lecturing about violence by and against children, that's the most asked question I get. How can I help? Just write something to tell me what to do. So I did. I've written a new book, In the Line of Fire, Raising Kids in a Violent World, that has more than 400 separate and distinct suggestions of how to help eliminate the violence. In this eye-opening book, I offer strategies and solutions for law enforcement, school administrators, counselors, psychologists, teachers, houses of worship, parents, and community residents and leaders, among others, and provide a blueprint we can use to create a more violent-free world. I present principles that we can all follow to become part of a solution to the societal ills that plague our communities, schools, and children. In the Line of Fire, Raising Kids in a Violent World is a heavily researched resource book of more than 300 full-color pages, filled with anecdotes, stories, and suggestions that paint a clear picture of the violent world in which we now live and to which our children have unfortunately grown accustomed. But it also offers hundreds of solutions to eliminate much of that violence. I wrote In the Line of Fire, Raising Kids in a Violent World in an easy-to-read format, with many places throughout the book to find pertinent and valuable information at a glance. So how can you help? I've launched a crowdfunding campaign to fund the first printing of In the Line of Fire, Raising Kids in a Violent World. And I'm asking you to contribute what you can to this important campaign. But what would a crowdfunding campaign be without incentives and rewards? I've got some good ones for you. Listed on this page are all of the great incentives and rewards you can get by donating to this project. There are categories everywhere from $5 to $10,000 and everything in between. And here is an extra bonus. All contributions over and above the cost of the incentives are tax deductible to you, because Rocket Hub, the site that is hosting this crowdfunding campaign, is affiliated with my fiscal sponsor, New York Foundation for the Arts, which is a 501c3 charitable organization. But please don't put this off. This is only a 30-day campaign, and we need to raise all of the funds within that time limit. Don't hesitate to click below on one of the contribution amounts. So for every person who has imagined living in a peaceful world free from hatred and from bigotry, bullying, and violence, and all other dysfunctional social ills that ruin communities and nations, In the Line of Fire, Raising Kids in a Violent World is an essential and meaningful guide. Just remember that hot, awful flame. Help me extinguish it. Send this video and link to anyone else you think might be interested, and please contribute what you can to this project. Thank you.